Hello, my name is Aaron Carrington, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take 8 standard open chords on the guitar and turn them into 24 with the most minimal amount of effort. And later on in the video I'll explain to you exactly why and how this works. It's not a trick, it's not a hack, it's not a shortcut, and it'll be very obvious by the time I reveal the information. Let's grab the guitar and get started. We're going to start with our standard C major open chord, which I'm sure many of you have seen and played before. And all we're going to do is we're going to keep each of our fretting hand fingers on the same strings, but we're going to move the frets. So we're going to move up by 5 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to give us a variation of an F chord. We can call this bonus chord number 1. And then we're going to move it up by a further 2 frets. 1, 2. We'll call this bonus chord number 2. It's a variation of a G chord. And that's it. We've taken one chord and times it by 3. Up by 5 frets. Up by 2 frets. Simple enough. Let's try it with another chord. Let's take our standard A major open chord. And we take those fretting hand fingers and we move them up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets. And then we move them up by another 2 frets. 1, 2. To get our 2 bonus chords there, okay? Now at this point you may have started to notice some of the chord names look a bit complex. But we're not going to worry about that in this video. We're just merely using this as a tool for creativity. Remember, with this method you can apply the same thing to 8 of your standard open chords. The next chord we're going to do it with is a D major chord. We move it up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we move it up by another 2. 1, 2. Beginning to see how it sounds musical now, and we're taking that same shape and we're just moving it down an allocated number of frets. So for those of you who are good at pattern recognition, you may have spotted that each of those I went plus 5 frets and then plus another 2, and that's why I like to call this the plus 5 plus 2 chord method. Okay, let's try it with our G chord. Now there is a slight caveat with this. I want you to use a very specific version of a G chord for this, okay? We're not going to use the standard G major open chord where the 3rd finger is on the 3rd fret of the high E string. What we're going to do is we're going to take that 3rd finger and we're going to move it up to the B string, so it's on the 3rd fret of the B, and we're going to put the pinky below it. So we should have this version of a G chord now. And this is the one that we're going to move around. So as before, we do plus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then plus another 2, 1, 2. And again, from a creative point of view, if you were writing a song, maybe it would use those 3 chords. And last of all, we're going to do it with our E major chord. Well, this is our last major chord, should I say. So we move it up by 5, and then we move it up by another 2. Easy, right? Now here's a bonus trick for the E major chord. You can do plus 5 plus 2, but if you want a kind of a Spanish Egyptian type sound, okay, maybe I'm being a little stereotypical there, but you can do a plus 1 plus 2. Plus 1 plus 2. And then back down again. Okay. So before we move on to the minor chords, why does this work? Well, the reason this works is because with these particular chords that I'm showing you now, none of the fretted notes actually clash with the open strings of the guitar. And that's it. That's why it works, because none of the notes are clashing. So let's do it with minor chords. Let's do our standard E minor open chord, and then we move it up by 5, and then another 2. Now you may well notice that there isn't a lot of variation in the actual sound here when we use the E minor chord, but it's worth knowing that it can be done. We can do it with our A minor chord, plus 5, plus another 2, and then back down again. And we can also do it with our D minor chord, plus 5, plus another 2, and then back down again. So there it is. In just around 5 minutes, you've managed to take 8 of your standard open chords, apply a very small piece of information, plus 5 plus 2, to each of them, and now you've suddenly got 24 chords that you can use. If you did find any value in that video, please hit the thumbs up button, because what that does is it tells the YouTube algorithm to like me, and it'll push this video out to more beginner guitar players just like you, who also will benefit from this knowledge. And if you do want more videos from me and you think you'll benefit from more videos from me in the future, please hit the subscribe button. It's also pretty nice for me as well to see that number going up as a small channel. Thanks for watching this video, taking a chance on a new YouTuber. Much appreciated. Bye bye.